Well, now South Africa's delayed vaccine access has been a hot topic all week. The president announced on Sunday that we'll get it only on the second quarter of 2021. The African Christian Democratic Party Deputy President, that's Thring, joins me now to weigh in on this critical debate. Mr. Thring, thank you so much for your time and good morning to you. The president did make mention that only in the second quarter should South Africa expect, that vaccine, making mention that the deposit in as far as the approximately 300 million, deposit into the COVAX program has already been paid. I mean, your response to the president?
Well, I think firstly, the ACDP is disappointed. Disappointed in the sense that we've had some 500 billion rand that has been allocated towards beefing up our health system and to ensure that when we face serious health crises, which was anticipated, that our health systems would be able to withstand the pressure. Unfortunately, we've all been accustomed to hearing the news of corruption, and so I think on the side of the ACDP, we lay the blame squarely at the feet of the ruling party. We've seen the corruption in terms of PPEs, people running out, hospitals running out of oxygen, and many people losing their lives purely because our health system just is not being able to cope. I think secondly, the ACDP is disappointed in the sense that we find out, much like the rest of the public do, with regards to decisions being taken by the President, the Cabinet and the COVID Committee. We are elected by South African citizens to hold government accountable, and yet we receive information much like the rest of the ordinary citizens do, and so we are unable, in a sense, to actually hold government accountable when it comes to ensuring that South African citizens are safe. The ACDP was one of the first political parties to have actually said that a hard lockdown would be worse than the effects of a hard lockdown would be worse than COVID-19 itself, the effects, health effects on the individuals. And we've been proven correct in that, in the sense that we've had some 2.2 million people that are now unemployed. Oxfam recently just indicated that there's some 1 in 5 South Africans that are going to bed hungry as a result of the effects of COVID-19 and the economic effects and the spin-offs of some 2.2 million people losing their jobs. And so certainly the ACDP is not happy the way that the opposition is being treated in particular. I have to commend our health representative, Honorable Mari Sukers from the ACDP, who, when she saw the situation on the ground, called the chairman of the Health Committee at Parliament, was not able to reach him. She then called the other opposition members of Parliament and says, we need to have a sitting, that the members of Parliament and the opposition have to put pressure on government for a special sitting so that we could address the crisis that we are currently finding ourselves in together. Yeah. And to our honourable member, Sukers, I think we certainly commend her for taking that particular position.
Mr. Thring, if I could just ask you right now, I mean, the announcement has been made that the second quarter is when the vaccine will be, of course, or rather should be expected. What do you think government needs to do right now? How do you think they could remedy this? You mentioned, other, disappointing facets of what has been such a painful year in terms of, the PPE scandal, in terms of South Africa not having confidence in where exactly that 500 billion rand was spent at, because there isn't evidence in terms of transparency, but also seeing, just in terms of the effectiveness of where the funds went to. But at this point, so that lives can be saved until, of course, this vaccine does come, how do you think government can remedy the situation at the moment?
One of the things that the ACDP has also constantly said is that what we are hearing from government is stay safe, wear a mask, social distance, stay at home. And so these are the things that government is saying. But government has never said, we've never heard, for example, our Minister of Health say to South Africans, help to do stuff that is going to be able to increase your immune system. Take vitamin D, for example. Take vitamin C. Ensure that you get sufficient sunlight. There are other measures that one is able to take to actually help to improve your immune system, which gives you then a better chance of, should one become infected, a better chance of actually fighting the disease. Now, there are so many other little interventions, rinsing, for example, steaming, that people are having to find out from outside. These little things give people a fighting chance. And again, I think it's important that there are so many millions of South Africans who are unable to afford, buying vitamins. But there are some little things like the steaming that can be done, which give them a fighting chance. I think it has to be said. I think it has to be said from the side of the ACDP that we are not anti-vaxxers, but we have to ensure, and the ACDP has posed 2 questions at Parliament to ensure the efficacy of the vaccine. We have to ensure, and government must take people into confidence to ensure that the vaccine is going to be safe. That if a vaccine actually comes out, that the proper due process has been followed. Double-blind processes have been followed, randomized double-blind processes, which is the golden standard even of the World Health Organization. Now, we are not hearing government coming here saying that indeed the golden standard of double-blind randomized processes with regards to vaccines will be conducted. We hear, for example, that South Africa is experimenting on different strains. And this is all coming from the media, but we as legislators, we as the representatives of the people in South Africa are having to hear this, not from government, but we're having to hear this from the media. And so government is not doing a good job in ensuring that should a vaccine be found, that they are able to mention to the members of South Africa, to the citizens of South Africa, that indeed the vaccine is safe. And we have to ensure that we bring our citizens into confidence in this regard.
We have to leave it there, but thank you so much for joining me, ACDP Deputy President Thring.